The idea of change is necessary. A lot of people often think change is scary. They think change is something that just isn't necessary because they're not comfortable, and that's not what they know. You may know someone in your life that just isn't, willing to change. I could promise you, if you ask your parents what was a very vocal change in your life, they would say you, and that's a blessing. But I don't want you living your life thinking the only thing that will be the most important change in your life is having kids. This is not a knock on anyone's parents, but it's the truth. A lot of people aren't willing to change. Now, I'm not saying, each and every single one of you has to get out the rat race, blah, blah, blah. Some people like security. Some people like the idea of knowing if I do this, I'll get this out of it. They don't like the idea of not knowing, and that's human nature. But change is important. Change is what we need, and if we do not have change, we'll stay the same. If the human species never changed, do you think we would be living in this apartment? Do you think I would be living, in an apartment? Do you think you would be living in an apartment? Do you think you would be living in a house? Do you think you would have a dog? Do you think I would be wearing these eyeglasses? Humans are meant to change, because if we didn't change, we would have still been the same people in the desert. We would have been the same people in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? We're all meant to change. That's what humans are for. I would ask you, what is something in your life that you want to change that isn't changing? And I don't know it, but I know you do. So what is something you really want to change? For me, I really want to change my physique because I just genuinely want to be healthy. That's it. I want to change my physique. What is something else you want to change? For me, another thing I want to change is my emotional intelligence. I want to be able to understand someone's emotions without letting my ego or however I feel about the situation blocking their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be more mature with my emotions. I feel like that's probably the last thing I'm having a hard time figuring out, because when you get angry or sad or whatever it may be, a lot of the times those emotions are very strong and it's pretty hard to get over it. But I know change is important. All the reasons I'm listening are internal, and all of the reasonings behind human evolution and change I've listed are external, but we gotten smarter as a species, and I know you're pretty capable of getting smart. Right now, I would say maybe picking up a book is probably the best thing you could do, or just reading an article, or even writing and journaling every day is something you could do that could help with your intelligence, because it's one thing to think about something all the time, but to put your thoughts on a piece of paper, it makes it easier to tell people how you feel or just communicate as a adult or individual. Even from a child standpoint, children change all the time. Children want certain things, and as they get older, they don't want them anymore. The idea of change isn't something I think we should fear. I feel like it's something we should accept. And whether it's a good or bad change, it's meant to happen. Because regardless of whether you believe God, made it happen or something like that, I feel like the idea of change should always bring a lesson. And you should always be able to identify a lesson from change. Change may suck, whether it may be losing a family member, losing a pet, or whatever it may be. Change may suck, but it changes who you are. And if you can let it change you for the better, I promise you your life will be different. That's one thing I've been trying to chase for the longest. It's definitely change. I feel like my life isn't changing as much as I wanted to. But I know if maybe someone sees this video, their life may change. And, this may be the stepping stone to wanting to change and be a better person. I feel like we should always welcome change and keep things dear to our heart that truly matter. But we shouldn't block our blessings and be afraid of change, because the same things we keep dear to our heart can be the same things that hold you down. So go out there and do what you need to do and be the man or woman you want to be. And remember, change is not something you should be scared of. It's something you should accept.